I'm back. Rodrance for Black and White Network. We're going to talk about a biracial dad in Raleigh, North Carolina that laid the smack down in a school board meeting over mask and CRT. That's right. He's tired of this BS narrative. He's echoing exactly what I have been saying. Things are changing for the better in the fact that there are, look, when you go after kids, parents are going to wake up. You cannot bring kids into a classroom and begin to tell them they're racist or that this color of child cannot obtain the same thing in life that this color of child is getting. You cannot do that. Okay? You're going to piss parents off of all colors. They're going to know better. Look, I've got black friends come straight out of the hood, get their master's degree, make $150,000 a year. I mean, come from some pretty tough circumstances. Pretty tough. Okay, and for many of years, they were certainly outskirting me on wages. I can assure you of that. I'm a redneck from rural East Texas. Plain and simple. And that's, look, I've had some pretty good jobs. But they were definitely beating my ass on the wage scale, let me tell you. Plain and simple. All right? They made some choices I didn't. They stayed on the straight and narrow a little better than I did. They went to college, got a degree, started earning more money before I started earning my big money. I mean, look, I can't get any more whiter. I mean, shit. Point is, nobody oppressed us. I made my choices, they made theirs. You get the point. You get the point. Very quickly, I am wearing our FU to LeBron James. That's right. China-loving MFer, LaChina James. You can grab this shirt out of our merch store. Use promo code USA First. Get 25% off this shirt. Get 25% off. Tell these a-holes exactly what you feel. North Carolina dad, Brian Echevarri. And by the way, this guy was on Fox News at one point, and this is the great Anthony Brian Logan's website, anthonyblogan.com. Blast local school board over CRT in a viral video. North Carolina dad, Brian Echevarri, expressed his grievances with CRT. Man, Democrats are about to get a rude awakening. You go after people's kids, changes everything for people. Everything. Expressed his grievances with CRT and other issues at a local school board meeting in a fantastic way. The video featuring the father's fiery words has now essentially gone viral. Many millions of people have now watched the video, and it's probably safe to say that most everyone who watched it identified with it in a personal way. Echevarri's words were not necessarily political, as they were just the basic common sense from the mind of a parent. Critical race theory is a serious problem. In K through 12 education, children are often taught that their race is either inferior or superior. This is being done in the name of progress and anti-racism, when in reality, the measures have taken to promote the exact opposite. The best way to get beyond racism is to not focus on it. People should be judged by how they behave, not by their race. CRT is not the only issue that Echevarri and other parents have with current-day school systems across the country. Mask mandates are, or at least were, another very serious problem. Young children going to school for the first time in kindergarten may have lost a critical year or two that is necessarily for socialization. That frightens me to death. Looking at their peers with masks on rob them of the ability to understand facial expressions and communicate, therefore delaying their own development. The CDC had even upgraded guidelines for toddlers at 24 months to have learned at least 50 vocabulary words to 30 months. This is a clear sign that lockdowns and mandates may have caused developmental issues with children. And let's watch this video.
Discrimination resolution, the CRT deal, because it's happening. And as a parent, I speak to other parents. There's a few things that we don't want. I'm biracial. I'm bilingual. I'm multicultural. The fact is, in America, in North Carolina, I can do anything I want, and I teach that to my children. And the person who tells my little pecan-colored kids that they're somehow oppressed based on the color of their skin would be absolutely wrong and absolutely at war with me.
Amen,
and I think that's
brother.
the same for every parent. What the mask showed us is that the parents, the most powerful group of people in our country, that they're taking back the wheel. Now, obviously, we had to take the wheel back for the mask, but we're taking the wheel back from Washington all the way to Raleigh and into our local school board. Because CRT, all of that, the parents don't want it. It's a big fat lie. There's not one, if you believe in CRT, I want to tell you you're a liar. Because that means you look at your black neighbor and say that they're oppressed, and you look at your white neighbor and say that they're evil, regardless of the experience that you've had with them.
Hey, guys, I want you to notice something here. Let's go back just a hair. Look at this. Why is law enforcement showing up all of a sudden when this guy is talking? I find that odd.
The experience that you've had with them. And we're not going to do that. The parents in the United States of America, right here in North Carolina and Cabarrus County, we know that's not true because we believe the lives we live. The fact is, I've been a business owner right here in North Carolina.
He's not following the Democratic narrative, the mainstream narrative. And just so happens, law enforcement shows up out of nowhere.
And
I find that
deal
strange.
With white people, black people, Hispanic people. My children deal with everybody. And the racism is only happening at the government level and on the media. The fact is, you have racists, and there's you can't even find them hardly. You just hear the stories about them. But this is what we're dealing with. The parents are taking the wheel. I have an 8-year-old daughter who is absolutely dynamic, who can do anything. Athletically,
Amen.
Intellectually, spiritually, and emotionally, she is a dynamo. And I don't want a man swimming against her in the pool.
There you go.
The fact is, I don't want her playing against boys in soccer. I don't even let my sons rough her up. Do you think I'm going to let your son rough her up? This is what we're talking about. Policy going back to the parents. Because if you think people who love America are willing to fight for it, you haven't met parents yet.
That's right.
Because I'm telling you, parents will go further down any street than anyone who loves their country alone.
Wow. Okay, so absolutely, this is what I'm trying to say. And it's so odd that law enforcement just happened to come strolling in the door while this guy is giving a speech that goes against the Democratic narrative, the mainstream media narrative. And I'm telling parents, I'm telling you right now, I don't care what state you live in. I'm in rural Texas. It's all red here. It's all red. But I'm telling you, this CRT is going to seep into every classroom around the country. Why? Because so many of these teachers, regardless of where they're from, are liberals. That is a fact. You better be careful. You better be engaged, be aware of what's going on at your school. Man, I admire this guy. I admire all these parents getting up there and speaking out against this bullshit. And yeah, we're talking about mask mandates. There's no telling. We won't find out the repercussions of these children wearing masks for God knows how long. The social awkwardness. I got to be honest with you. Having a young child, I want to homeschool my child. I do. But it's my fear of social awkwardness as to why I haven't pulled that trigger yet. But far as I know, I don't know what kind of damage has already been done from these mask mandates. I don't know that. Man, this guy did a great job. I admire him for getting up there, particularly in the areas that these people are living where they're having to get up there. Because let's be honest let's be honest about it. They've turned parents into public enemy number one in some of these Democratic counties. We had a Democrat in either Congress or somewhere the other day, last week maybe, week before last, that literally sent out a tweet that said, if you don't like how your parents don't need to be involved in their kids' schooling, if you don't like it, pay for private school, essentially. I mean, what kind of a teacher are you that you think the parents shouldn't be have the number one say in what their kids are going to learn before they turn the age of 18 years old. I mean, if you think that, get the hell out of the educational system. Parents don't want you there. We don't want you there. Tell me what you think, Black and White Network fans. The channel is growing like crazy. We appreciate everybody. I mean, growing like crazy. Very good work. We just crossed 250,000 views for the last 30 days. Over that, 275,000. And come on, we want to hit that million mark for 30 days. That's a big deal for any YouTube channel and for the growth and for us to try to keep getting the word out there to people on things like this, things that the mainstream media, NBC, CNN, these kind of media entities, they're going on TV dogging out parents like this. It's frightening. It's frightening that the media is driving home an anti-parental narrative. Yikes. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.